Now is it visible? Hello, my screen is visible or not? Please respond.
It's not visible, sir.
Okay,
It's not coming up.
1 minute, please. Uh, yes, up. Now is it visible or not?
Yeah,
Yes,
yes, sir.
yes,
It's
now
visible now.
Okay,
can
thank
see.
you, thank you so much. So, friends, today uh, block 2, we will discuss about block 2 of rural development management, and unit which is related with block 2 is 5 to 8 unit, 5, 6, 7, and 8 unit. Yesterday we have already discussed about unit 1 to 4. So let us start about rural development management. Basically, block 2, unit 5 to 8 is related with many types of feasibility, and it's started, unit 4 started, sorry, unit 5 started with project appraisal, third, and it is related with financial feasibility. We have already discussed about many type of feasibility in last lectures. uh, we have already discussed by how we can optimize the resources, how can we increase the output with optimum level of resources. So today we will discuss about the project appraisal, phase third, and it is related with financial feasibility. Friends, as you know that at the outset, it is natural for you to ask the question, what is financial feasibility or viability? Because in any system, financial feasibility or viability is very important, and without the financial viability, we cannot go through the proper route for the completion of any type of project. So, in a simple way, as we can say that financial viability may be defined as the capacity of project to meet or to pay for cash obligation or liability. Basically, it is a very simple that when we talk about financial viability, it means capacity of the project to meet or pay. It's always, please, please, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Yeah. Thank you so much. So viability is very important when we talk about project appraisal, and we have already discussed about the capacity of project to meet or pay for the cash obligations, because cash obligations are very important. And when we do the cash obligations arise? When do the cash obligation arise? Well, the cash payment obligation arise when private or public economic agent, it may be private agent or it may be public agent, involved in the project borrow funds. But it means that uh, uh, obligations or co obligation is directly related with public or private agents. So, when public or private agents involved in the project to project borrow funds, and it is associated with uh, cash obligations. So, project borrow funds for meeting the whole or part of their investment and operating cost. We have already discussed that any type of invest, both players involved. uh, in present time, uh, we are making many projects like on the basis of a triple P model, public private partnership model. So we cannot deny the role of private sector for the project appraisal and for the investment purpose. So private sector is also equally important, but the role of public sector is more important because public sector always act for the welfare of people, welfare of society. But private sector motive is different because private sector work on the motive of profit. The differences are there, but we cannot deny the importance and participation of private sector in the any type of project. So, if an agent meet cost wholly out of its fund, the question of appraising the financial viability of the project from the angle of this particular agent. When any type of agent involved, like private agent involved in the project, then we can say without taking the angle of that agent, we cannot appraise project properly. So, angle of that particular agent is important. Simply doesn't arise. Since its economic efficiency measures would alone suffice to guide the decision. And in the any type of project appraisal, when the agent is crucial, so economic efficiency uh, maybe the good basis of decision makings. So these are the basic of the project appraisals, and we can also say that it has been observed that generally an economic agent intends or decides to borrow funds. What are the purpose of economic agent? Uh, Only when he hopes to make enough earning out of the project. It is a very important segment because financial issues are very important. When any agent invest in any project, he hopes that enough funding will be possible from that project. But welfare uh, point is also very important. With ignoring the welfare point only to make profit for the project, it is not a good thing. So the welfare of citizens, welfare of the community should be in the prime objective of any type of project. So the agent should be able to pay back the borrow fund on the creditor's term. The role of agent is very important because agent provides funds and make profit and also returns to the creditors. Therefore, it should be clear to you that problem of financial viability arise when the project is expected to generate cash income in the hands of private or public agent. It is a very clear that we have already discussed that financial viability arise when project we are expecting that project will generate income, and there if there is no chance of generating income, like no profit, no base project, only welfare motive is there, then financial viability, there is no question of financial viability. But if any type of income generated, expected income generated from the project, then the role of public and private agents becomes very important. And these agents depend upon borrowing to meet their investment and operating cost. And if a project is under the profit, then agent make a profit and invest further for the project, and they also covers operating cost. You already know that about the cost. Total cost is basically divided into two parts. One is fixed cost and other is variable cost. So if we calculated for any type of project, we say that one type of investment which is associated with any type of project is that is fixed cost, but variable cost is equally important. As we work on the project and project is going on, we need some other inputs for the project, and variable cost also increases. So one type investment and regular uh, um, expenditure is also important for the project. So operating cost must be covered for any project appraisal. So friends, You can write your questions in chat box. Uh, in the mid of this lecture, we will cover all questions. So if you feel any questions, if you have any question in your mind, please write uh, on chat box. So cost is also very important, cost and revenue concept. If the project is based only on no profit, no loss, as we have already seen in many projects of public sector, in which total revenue means TR is equal to TC. It means total revenue is equal to total cost. Then we can say that project is on no profit, no loss basis. But uh, uh, some motives are very important for the fulfilling of the needs of the agents. So some earning becomes very crucial. Commercial angle is also involved in the project uh, feasibility, and a project which poses financial viability problems and demands an appraisal necessary has a purely commercial focus or angle. This is because of the public or private agency. It may be public or maybe private. When we talk about commercial angle, we involve both type of agency, public as well as private also, which borrow funds to purchase project input, must sell the project output and earn cash income. You already know that basically for ongoing of any project, we need um, inputs, and the cost should be minimized. If the output is more than input and the project is in profit, so that it becomes inspiration, it becomes motive for the agents to invest more in that project. So this because of public or private agency uh, which borrow funds to purchase project input, must sell the project output and earn cash income to be able to pay back the borrow funds along with the interest. Because we have already discussed about the investment decisions, and invest decisions are based on many factors like rate of interest and the internal rate of return, expected level of profit. If the expected level of profit is low or nil, then investors are not motivated to invest. So internal rate of return should be there, expected rate of profit should be higher. If such type of situation prevails in any type of project, then we can say that that product will be uh, profitable. That product will be uh, going on for the point of view of society's welfare. And if any project we are investing only and we are not encashing sufficient amount or interest which we have already borrowed from the banks or some other financial institution, then the life of that project will not be long. So I personally think that some motives, some profit should be there for the life of the project. A commercial success or profitability is thus an essential precondition project is financially viable. If financial success or profitability is there, it means project is financially viable and it will go on. And if commercial viability or profitability will not be there, we can say that the life of project will be very short. So in any type of project, uh, commercial angle is very important. We cannot only say that only welfare angle is important. Welfare angle is very important, but commercial angle is also very important. So both are equally important. But the aim of the uh, government, aim of the political leaders is to increase into upward the welfare of society, welfare of the community, welfare of the citizen. So this point must keep in mind when we work with any type of project. Partial commercial angles are also included when we talk about project. A project depending upon borrowing needs not, however, be 100% commercial in the sense a project depending upon borrowing need not, however, be 100% commercial in the sense that all its input are purchased and all of the output sold. It's very important because we are expecting that which type of input is using in our project that must be purchased and output which is coming from the project must be sold. If this possibility is there, then it's only partial commercial angle, then project will be longer. So the problem of marketing is also involved. We have already discussed about different types and issues of marketing in last lectures, and uh, marketing and uh, output angle is very important. In our earlier illustration of the cattle development project, a rural family, suppose, may buy a cow or a sea buffalo out of loan advance. It's an example. But the labor of upkeep and part of animal feed may be the family's own. We have some other type of cost like we can some accounting cost, but some cost are real cost. We pay not for that, but real cost is also must be calculated in any type of project. Suppose like this example, if a cow or sea buffalo out of the loan advance, but the labor of the upkeep and part of the animal feed may be by family members. If family members are involved with the and they are rendering their services free of cost, so that is related with real cost. We not calculated the real cost in accounting sense, accounting cost, but it must be kept in mind when we talk about any type of project, when we make a decision about any type of project. On the other hand, the family will seldom sell all milk produced. A part of invariability retained for self-consumption, even it is only for the infant and sick. Because it may be that commercial angle is also involved in livestock, and if we have already taken example of a cow and sea buffalo, and it may uh, sell all the milk, it's a commercial angle, but invariability is also retained because the if we cow and sea buffalo is with us, then we can say that self-consumption point of view is also important, and infants and chicks who need very nutrition for their lives, they must retain that nutrition from the milk. So, commercial as well as our personal angle is involved in any type of decision making. So, we are just talking about real cost in us. So, you can say that self-consumption and the need of the infant and sick, uh, we are providing milk for the infant and sick. This is basically related with real cost. That is the result of real cost. So many types of project real cost is very important. The larger the part written in this manner, the smaller will be the cash income. If more and more people are involved, family people are involved in family business, the smaller business the cash income receive and lower the financial viability. It is if smaller will be the cash income. If this type of things will happen, so the cash income will be lower, and if the cash income will be lower, the financial viability will be less. This does not mean that the part retained for self-consumption is not a benefit of the project. We have already discussed that if we receive some milk for self-consumption, it's not matter that it's not a profitable for our family. Uh, it's also important because self-consumption is not a benefit of the project. We cannot say this. So self-consumption, self-satisfaction, or welfare point is also a very important part of the project. But in practice, we doesn't calculate this type of cost like real cost. Cash flow statement. Uh, one another most important uh, thing is cash flow statement. Cash flow statement, friends, you may be aware that any project involving commercial transactions with borrow funds is different proportion will have a cash flow. You have already aware that that it is clear that commercial transaction, if we borrow funds for commercial transactions, then different proportion will have a cash flow. It's very clear. So therefore, a cash flow statement tells you about the health of the project. If the cash flow will be more, the health of the project will be good. This is crucial characteristics, and perhaps you may be tempted to ask the question why it is crucial characteristics. It means that if a cash flow statement and the health of the project, why it is a crucial? The answer is not difficult to see. The cash account of the project in question is the main instrument for appraisal of financial viability. As we have already discussed about financial viability, if the cash account of a project will be richer, will be more, the appraisal of financial will be, viability will be greater. And if the amount of cash will be lesser, the financial viability will be less. There would be at least two cash account of the project, mainly because of the commercial nature of the transaction involving in loans fund. So mainly these points are very important when we talk about appraisal of the project, and because of the commercial nature of the transaction involving loans fund, loan borrowing, we make different type of funds for the investment of the projects. So these are the liabilities. So in any project, liabilities should be covered. Without covering the liability, we cannot go forward. So the first may be for the public sector authority, and the second for the typical representative private household. Both are very important from the investment point of view, and we have already discussed about the role of public and private sector. And in present scenario across the globe, you can say that uh, what is uh, divided in different type of economy, and capitalist economy, socialist economy. India is like mixed economy, but uh, we are just moving towards capitalism because private sector is holding much more amount of the economy. So this is a very important term, and public and private both authorities are important, but uh, the role of public authority and the responsibility of public authority is much more than private, because citizens point of view, public sector is more important. So still we can say that both are important, but public sector role is more important from the citizens point of view, from the welfare point of the view of the citizens. Then each account will tell us about the financial viability of the project from the angle of two agencies concerned, public as well as private. If we involve both agencies, then financial viability is important for the project from the both angle of the investors. So cash flow statement means if the cash amount will be greater, the viability will be greater, and if the cash amount will be the lesser, the viability will be lesser. So it is a very important uh, segment of the cash flow statement. Indicators. The three most commonly used key indicators are payback period. It's very important. You all know about payback period, average return on investment, and financial rate of return. Uh, these are the key indicators for the project appraisal. Basically, payback period, if we borrow funds from anyone like some other financial institution or private borrowers, so payback period is fixed. Within a certain of period of time, we pay that loans, that borrowing or that funds. So when we invest in any project, the payback period is very important. So it is always in mind of the investor that time for payback period is constant. Average return on investment. Uh, as we have discussed that we make investment not only for the welfare but also for the profit. So profit and welfare simultaneously goes on, and average return on investment should be um, there. And if investment return on investment is good, then inspiration for the investment will be more for future. And financial rate of return, uh, the last one, namely, it is also known internal rate of return. Financial or internal rate of return, briefly known as IRR, is worked out by using the discounted cash flow techniques. It is associated. You have thoroughly read about study material of IGNOU. It is very clearly mentioned there. So I recommend you about the financial viability or financial rate of return. You must go through the detail of the IGNOU study material. So discounted cash flow techniques. So these three indicators are very important when we make decisions of investment. So in which the objective for all three indicators is to compare the future benefit with the present investment cost. Uh, uh, as we have already discussed that payback period, average return on investment, and financial rate of return. These three uh, indicators are very important, and uh, to compare the future benefit with the present investment cost. What we are investing in present and what type of returns we will earn in future. The decision making is very important, and when we make any type of decision regarding investment, we keep in mind these both ideas. The basic methodology common to all the indicators is as follows. uh, the annual net cash flow are in different ways aggregate for arriving at a single number that indicate the benefit occurring from the investment. Annual net cash inflow are maybe in different ways aggregate for arriving a single number and indicate the benefit accruing from the investment. What type of benefit we are accruing from the investment, this is also important. So internal rate of return, as we have discussed, the financial rate of return is equally important in project decision making. The benefit that the investment must yields to justify the allocation of fund is predetermined at threshold number, and when we allocate the fund for the any investment purpose, we must keep in mind that uh, their output will be good. If we expect more profit or at least some amount of profit which is expecting from the project. If that profit exists, we make investment. But if some disturbance, we think that there should be some type of disturbance, then we deny for particular investment. As you already know about uh, foreign institutional investors, FII's investment. So, for the decision making in FII investors, political, economic, and others financial conditions are very important. If uh, financial disturbance is there in particular country, this then investment inflow becomes less and outflow becomes more. So, outflow of the capital becomes larger when financial or economic stability is there, instability is there. So investment decisions are totally depends on many other factors, only not the internal rate of return, some political, some other financial, or some other internal rate of return, and many more other factors. The benefit that the investment must yield to justify the allocation of fund is predetermined as threshold number. We have already discussed. The number obtained in is compared with the number obtained in to decide the acceptance or rejection of the project proposal. What type of number we obtain, and if we decide to accept or reject of the project proposal, it totally depends on all these indicators. uh, Basically financial indicators. We have already discussed that some other indicators are also important, but when we make decisions, we kept in mind only the financial indicators. Financial are internal rate of return, FRR. It is known as financial or internal rate of return, FRR or IRR. The financial or internal rate of return is similar to IRR explained in the preceding units of the economic feasibility. It is obtained by discounting cash benefit and cost streams until the present value of the net cash income becomes zero. This is the method of calculation of FRR. It is detailed mentioned in your study material. So please go through your study material, debate calculation about IFRR, how FRR is calculated. So here we can only say that obtained by discounting cash benefits and cost stream until the present value of the net as income becomes zero. This should keep in mind. The financial rate of return indicate the average annual percentage returns on total investment. What is the returns on investment? Total returns on investment on annual basis, and operating cost. We have already discussed about cost combination like fixed cost and variable cost. So operating cost is the part of variable cost, and that must be covered. Suppose we are making any investment and we are not covering the total fixed cost. So if the operating cost, if the variable cost is covering, so investment decisions is that investment should go on. But if investor is not covering operating cost or variable cost, so the system project will shut down. So, operating cost is very important for uh, ongoing investment. It is also known as yields of an investment in a project. As you already know that this is basically the output of the project, and it does not require the pre-specification of a discount rate. There is no uh, provision of discount rate in this type of project pre-specification. In order to facilitate computational of the FRR, you will need an electronic calculator because calculation of FRR is not so easy. So alternatively, the interest rate and discount rate table, and if we exactly want to calculate the exact amount of FRR, our internal rate of return, we need these type of instruments if available. It serves the purpose. The procedure here is by trial and error process. We again and again trial and we minimize the errors in the whole process. When we make any type of project, then you must experience with different interest rates until you find the closest rate to equate discount stream of the cash inflow to cash outflow. Uh, we have already aware that rate of interest play a very crucial role for the investment purpose. If the rate of interest is high, so investment will discourage, and if the rate of interest is low, then investment will increase. So we kept in mind the rate of interest from the investment point of view. So that will depend on the cash inflow and cash outflow. It is also related associated with the investment decisions in the project. Program implementation. When we have already discussed about plan programs in last lectures, uh, centralized planning, decentralized planning, uh, and program implementation part is very important because every rural development project has to be implemented with the help of time schedule. We have many rural development plans and projects in many countries. As you study, I will share a link, very important link related to African studies, uh, basically in rural development programs. After the lecture, I will share. But implementation part is very crucial because every rural development project has to be implemented with the help of a time schedule. Time is constant, time schedule is very important. Within time schedule, we must complete that project and manage effectively to minimize cost because if cost is minimum, then the return will be greater. And escalators and avoid times overruns. So times overruns are very crucial because we must manage projects within constant period of time. The planning of these activities, uh, like uh, when we talk about efficiency, when we talk about time constant, and when we talk about return of the project, these three variables are very important. The planning of these activities in the project life cycle is known as implementation planning. Basically,
Hello,
yes, hello,
excuse me, sir.
yeah,
There is noise to the background. We can't get you clearly. We are asking if you can check that. There is a noise, there is a sound, a bad sound. So we can't get you clearly. They are sending in
yeah.
the chat. You can see the messages in the chat.
Oh,
We can't get you
okay,
clearly. Yeah.
okay. 1 minute, please. Uh, uh, yes, I think. Am I audible? And there is no noise in background. I think. Is it okay, Kalinda? Kalinda, is it
Yes.
okay?
It's okay, but it keeps coming back. It's recurring. It's like you're scratching on something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's really disturbing. We've been failing to hear you at times.
No, this is not from my side. I think. Please unmute your mic. Mute your mic. Uh, because disturbance are there. So I think there is no question in chat box. Yeah. So please mute yourself. Okay. So program implementation, we have already discussed about program implementation. A proper implementation planning exercise helps us developing a timetable for efficient management of project. So we have already discussed that implementation is very important for efficient uh, working of the project, and uh, organizational staffing is also important, because life cycle of the project is totally depends on implementation. In the process of management, it is generally served by function of the uh, organizing, staffing, and directing. These are the key for the successful implementation of the any type of project. A proper implementation planning exercise helps developing a timetable for efficient management of the project. And if we follow all these guidelines, like organizing, staffing, direction, and minimum cost criteria, so we can efficiently manage a project very well. The unit is addressed to this precise task. So as the video means block development officer, as we have already discussed that at center level, after the central level, state, after the state, district, after the district, tehsil, and after that block is there. After block, village. So BDO is a administrative officer in India, and it's control the funds which is allocated to rural areas, yeah, rural communities. So the role of administration is also very important in the when we talk in the context of India. And as you already know that in any country, I think the political and administrative bodies are there. Like when we talk about India, uh, at district level, district magistrate is there, who is a administrative officer, and uh, district panchayat adhyaksh, the president is also there. And at block level, block development officer is a administrative officer, and Block Pramukh is a political man who is behind any type of project. As same thing is also in village. Village, in India, there is a sarpanch in village, and sarpanch is basically a political post. But uh, parallel to sarpanch, there is a secretary. Secretary is administrative post. So this is the political structure or the administrative structure. When you see in India, you will clearly notice that the allocation of fund uh, is controlled by both authority, not a single authority. Only administration cannot play an important role for fund allocation, or only political peoples are not able to control the whole funds. So the BDO, the district magistrate, the sarpanch, and the secretaries, these posts are very important at district level of planning and for rural communities development. So then video and the others engaged in the project planning and management would be able to manage and maintain the time and cost schedule of rural development project. Basically, when we talk about India, the role of video is very important, block development officer, because fund is directly controlled by the this officer, uh, and it is also some other powers to Block Pramukh, which is a political person. So the coordination of video and Block Pramukh is very important at block level. So the structure is like this. The first step is to list the various activities as given below. what are the activities related to list of activities related to project. The number one is project plan approval. The first and most important thing is approval of the project plan. And it's not so easy because in many countries of the world, red tapeism is there. We have already discussed about red tapeism and administrative control. So approval takes a much time. So political will is very important. Administrative will is very important towards the development of the rural community. If administration and political leaders are uh, uh, aware about the community, then approval of the project will be more easier. But it takes time. So project plan approval is a first step to initiate the programs of rural development. And I personally think that there should be a single window type system at only in one stop center. Every types of problem must be solved. So there will be the the efficiency in the project approval, and less time will be there. So, project plan approval. After project plan approval, recruitment of staff. Uh, Recruitment of staff is much more important because if staff is not good, staff is not skillful, then we cannot say that project will be completed in within time frame, and output will be profitable. So, we must keep in mind that skill of the staff must be according to the requirement of the project. So it should be on the maybe on the various level. It should be on the overall assessment of the surveyor, how they communicate with the people, what are the basic essential skills of the surveyor or project staff. Uh, we must keep in mind when we talk about recruitment of the staff. And next is purchase of machinery. Financial issues are also very important when we talk about any type of equipment, like investment or machinery purchase, because we need supportive instrument to work in rural areas. So what machineries are required, what type of instruments are required, we must keep that. Like if you make any project, if you go for analysis, you must need internet access, you must need computers, you must need printers, many others machineries are also required. So many softwares are required. So purchase of machinery is the third step for in the list of projects. Obtaining power supply lines is very important and crucial. We are connected. You are in Africa and I am in India. So power supply lines are very important because without this we cannot think to complete any type of project. And one most important thing, only recruitment of staff is not important. Training of the staff. We have already discussed about many components of our training of the staff, but as we are aware that if you are working uh, in any type organization, time to time training is required for staff, because in changing environment, in changing economic scenario, new things are adding, and we must learn about that. How can we operate efficiently? What type of new things is coming? We must learn about that. So training, uh, I think the training is not only one time. Training should be ongoing process. Installing machinery, you already know about installation of the machinery, and before starting the project, installation of the machinery is important. electrical wiring, you all know about that, and pilot run. Suppose we plan for any project, suppose we want plan for across the country. So at first phase we cannot uh, go through across the country. First of all, we take some district. We take 5 to 6 district, 10 district for that particular project on the pilot basis. So if the result is good, if project is working very well, then authority approved project that it should be implemented across the country. So the important thing is that pilot run is uh, also crucial because if the pilot run, the result of the pilot run will tell us about the sustainability and the viability of the project. So these are the basics of the project, and without this basics exercise, we cannot go for any project. Monitoring and development project. If you have any question, please ask or write in chat box. I check. No, there is no question in chat box. If you have any question, please ask. Now voice is clear. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you any question, please? Okay. Friends, the next is monitoring development project. Monitoring of the development project are basically project monitoring is a device for overseeing the implementation of the project. We have already discussed in project development planning segment that monitoring is very important. If we implemented project and project is going on, but the monitoring is not there, so the result will be not fruitful. So the project monitoring is a device for overseeing the implementation of the project through information feedback uh, to ascertain whether the activities are proceeding in the desired direction. uh, it means that project is going under the desired direction or not. We must monitor about that, and if we monitor project properly, the people who are recruited for that project, they act actively. They know that someone is monitoring us. So monitoring is also very important, and but monitoring should not disturb the whole process. Monitoring should be like monitoring, not the involvement in the desired direction, so as to enable the objective of realized the activities and proceeding according to the given time. If we monitor project properly and we train the workers, we train the staff, then the time period which is fixed for the project must be completed in that particular time. Ahead of the schedule, behind schedule. So these are the monitoring components. The target population is being reached. It's also a important thing. If we are planning for a community, I tell you an example about India. I'm in Lucknow, a district of Uttar Pradesh in India, and uh, in UP, a district which is uh, Lakhimpur Khiri. A district is Lakhimpur Khiri, and that district is very dense forest, and also that some tribes, uh, Tharu tribes, rich area, Tharu tribes concentrated area, And I make a study about Tharu tribes' livelihood, and the objective is to reach to go in each and every village of the Tharu tribes. So if we go, we observe, we talk with them regarding their problems, and believe with them. So this is very important. So this is the target population is being reached. If we are trying for the betterment of particular community, then it is a question that are we are going to them for their betterment. We are knowing what they are, uh, what type of livelihood is there, and other things which is very important. So the target population is uh, must be reached. The target population is being reached. It's very important issue regarding the any type of the project. Uh, the achievement of the target and the benefit expected to be generated are being realized. So achievement uh, is also very important. Benefits, what type of benefits are expected, and that must be realized. And if the targets and benefits are realized, and we should formulate a good policy. We should formulate a good policy for that particular community, and we also convey our message to the authority that planning should be like this to fulfill the needs of the people who are the targeted group. So coordination between various departments involved in the project execution is taking place. It's very lacking because in every country, I think that coordination between different authorities. So the coordination is very important because if one financial authority is another, some other authorities, administrative authority is other, so become within an umbrella, and we think about that what type of things we can do. So coordination between different department of the government for execution of the project is taking place. It must be there. Participation of the community is sufficiently strong to sustain the efforts made through the project. As we have already discussed that without the participation of the people, we cannot make effective implementation of the policy. So I think in all type of the project or planning, participation is very important. Participation of people is very important, and people should involve in the project indirectly, because what we are making, we are just trying to uh, improve the livelihood. We are just trying to improve the welfare of the citizens. So involvement of the people is very important in the project. Thus, we see that monitoring is basically an aid to managerial decision making by providing immediate information feedback. Monitoring should be like monitoring, that not should be like intervention. So it make a very crucial role in decision making, and it's also provide the immediate information. The project is going on right direction or wrong direction. We can easily monitor it. This help in early detection of the problem. If any type of problem is with the project, we can early detect its corrective actions. We can also make action to correct the project, and some other issues which are hurdles. We can also make them which are lagging behind, and relation to areas which are lagging behind can be taken on time. Thus provides a critical appreciation of the current status of the projects. So monitoring is all about uh, the for the successful implementation of the projects. It's not a hurdle. We think that if we monitor anything, it means that should be work efficiently. So these are the basic terms about the monitoring of the project, and now we take a 5-minute break, and after 5 minutes we start for the next section. Okay, friends. Now we take a 5-minute rest. After 5 minutes, we will start next section. Okay. And if you have any question, please write in chat box.